Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. So I am recording this episode a couple hours after you guys seen the last episode, but I just kind of really wanted to get into this because I am very excited to see, obviously, what our fourth overall selection could do in his first season. That being none other than the youngster in Curtis Coburn, who has no X factor, but does look like he's going to be a really solid player. He's built up all around, and yeah, just very excited to see what he could do for this team. Hopefully providing some necessary depth scoring behind Asher Vance for this team, obviously, because if we want to win one more Stanley Cup while Vance is still playing, we definitely have to do it either this coming season or probably within the next 2 to 3 seasons, because I think Vance is on the decline for sure. Reefers is likely going to be retiring in the next few years as well, so it's best for us to probably win the Stanley Cup as soon as possible, because or else the main core that's been here forever, like Recchi as well, could be on their way out, and then it will have to be kind of like a youth movement, and we'll have to also add probably some free agents if we want to be competitive. So we probably only have like one more chance to win a Stanley Cup with a couple of these guys left on the roster. So there is that. But anyways, before we get into free agency, also maybe making a few changes to our lineup a little bit more so, I do have a couple comments to go over. So the first one is from Michael Dose, who says Coburn is going to be very good with 91 shooting and his size. He also has he also is upper 70s faceoffs too, which is true. Coburn could actually technically play faceoffs, which is interesting, considering the guy isn't really listed as a center. He does have actually good face-off stats. You can see 78. Like, basically, this guy is 80 plus overall in every single category except for poise, shot blocking, and face-offs. So this guy should be all around a really, really good player. And here is his little superstar ability. So you can see that he's going to be a really good hitter. So excited to see how much hits he throws, if he's going to be like kind of like Brady Tkachuk. He's also got great strength with the puck too, so hopefully he could get some good offense going while holding onto the puck a little bit longer than most players can. So there is that. And our last and final comment is from Saturn Otaku, who says Coburn has the ratings to be Rookie of the Year. I think he'll end up being a great pick, and I hope he will win Rookie of the Year, because I think the first overall selection might win it. He looked like he's going to be a little bit better overall wise and stuff, but I definitely could see Curtis Coburn being up there as a potential Rookie of the Year candidate with that type of shot. Obviously, his offensive awareness is a little bit low at an 83, but if that develops into like a 90 overall, or 90 potential, or whatever you want to call it, 90 rating, I think he's going to be really, really solid in terms of goal scoring ability. I think his first season, it's realistic to say he's going to score at least 20 goals. He might even hit 30. I don't think he's going to hit 40 plus goals in his rookie season, but you never know. If we put this guy with some good players, maybe he'll actually do really well. So there is the comments I had from last episode. So let's get into this offseason and think about what we're going to do here, because we do have a few things I left on question marks at the end of last episode. I didn't get any replies to that as of this recording, so basically I'm going to have to do this all on my own, and I didn't really pre-scout this ahead of time, so it's a little bit weird to do this like this, but it is what it is. We are going to be trading away Torres, I think, because of the fact that obviously Tyupkin's ready to be that starter, and then we'll sign ourselves a backup goaltender to replace Torres. But we might as well trade Torres while his value is high, so I'll probably trade him and maybe use that to upgrade our forward core a little bit, because if we look at our forward core right now, you can see that we're severely lacking depth on our top six. So I think what I will do is probably run like a top line of Vance, Brossoit, and Gustafson, at least. Well, maybe not Gustafson. Maybe we'll find somebody on the left wing side of things, because I want to run Coburn alongside, I think, Reefers and Recchi on the second line, because I think having Reefers as a second line center behind Vance instead will be kind of interesting, kind of splitting the two of those guys up, and then Reefers, hopefully being a good veteran, could help Coburn in his first season a lot. So I think that will be quite a thing to do for this team. So basically, Vance and Brossoit will need a left winger to play with them. Gustafson will probably play on the third line role, kind of with Ziska and Martins. And then we got like Zubris and such, who will be down there on the bottom six. There is also some RFAs that are still holding out. Those guys will likely be on like third or fourth line roles as well. But yeah, I think we basically need like one depth defenseman, a depth forward, and maybe a top six forward. And hopefully we can find that top six forward by trading away our current goaltenders. So let's go ahead and make that trade if we could find one. And hopefully we find somebody that could fit into that top line left wing role, because I don't want to be playing Gustafsson really on the top line left winger. And I don't really feel playing like the rookie on the top line with Vance, just because they're both goal scorers. So I want to have them kind of separated a little bit for now. And they'll probably be on opposite power play units as well, just so they get the offense kind of flowing through 2 units instead of just 1, right? So let's go here to our goaltenders and see what we could get for Torres. He has lower value than Tayupkin, but Tayupkin's a rookie kind of guy, younger guy. I would rather trade away Torres, and then we could find ourselves a backup goaltender for the team. So let's just go to open trade block and see what type of offers we get thrown at us. A second and a third, a second, a third, and a left winger. We'll take a look at that trade probably for sure, just because we do need, like I said, maybe a top line left winger. There's also Nesbitt on 1 year left. Ooh, that's kind of the exact thing I was looking for if he's actually that good. I don't know how good Nesbitt is. I'll have to take a look at that. And there's also Gervais, but Gervais on a 2-year deal. I would probably prefer Nesbitt, who's on the pending free agent deal. So the Islanders might be able to make a good trade with us. Let's see. We don't really need the picks is the problem, but let's take a look at Nesbitt. Second line forward, so he'll be into our top 6. He's an 84 overall at 32, so he'll probably be on the decline soon. But this guy does have some solid goal scoring. He hasn't really played a ton in the NHL over the last few years, because he did play a little bit in the AHL in 2037, but looks like every year of his NHL career, he's mostly a 20-goal scorer, which, I mean, putting next to Vance and stuff, maybe he'll score more than that, but yeah, this guy's an okay goal scorer. Playoff-wise, he hasn't played a ton in the postseason. He's played 53 games, most of those coming in the last 2 years, where the Islanders must have lost in the Cup Finals both years. He doesn't really put up a lot of points in the playoffs, at least at the last 2 years, 8 points a piece, which is not great. His -7 is not ideal either. He also does take a lot of penalties, actually. So he's kind of more of a power forward than a sniper. Very aggressive, has a goal scoring ability. I like his shooting, his offensive awareness quite a bit. I might be willing to do this trade. I might be willing to do that. I don't really need the 5th and the 7th is the only thing, because if we look at our picks for the upcoming draft, we also have, let me go actually to draft picks, not the goalies. We have Pittsburgh's first rounder, which I'm hoping is a good a good pick in the draft. We have 4 third-round picks. We have 2 fourth-rounders. Like, I honestly could try trading away the goaltender with multiple third-rounders and see if we get any other offers. So I do like this Nesbitt deal, but I'm not going to do it just yet. I am going to go back to the trade finder, though, and add all 4 of our third-round picks, or 3 of our third-round picks at least, to the goaltender, just to see if we can maximize what we get in return for Torres. So we'll, I didn't want to get it in my trade block, but we'll do Torres and 3/3 and see if we get any crazy offers, because if we get a crazy offer, like a good top-line left wing, that's exactly what I want. That Nesbitt guy is going to be solid, but is he the answer? I have no idea if he is. So we definitely don't need all these third-rounders. We'll probably keep our own, but we'll trade away everybody else's third-rounder in this deal. So let's see if there's any crazy offers we get now. 2 seconds, Gunderson, and a 4th. That's the only offer we're getting thrown to us. Let me take a look at Gunderson. I know he's a right winger, but we could play him on the left side. 2 years left. Yeah, yikes. No, thank you. That's not really what I had in mind there, Montreal, but I appreciate your offer. I appreciate your offer. Yeah, I think we'll probably do the one with the Islanders, unless there's something else I could find, but I don't really know what else is out there. Let's go to all teams and take a look at what they have for left wingers, because maybe we can find the best left winger possible. There is this Clark guy, but he's a pending RFA, so likely he stays around in Anaheim a little bit longer. Wharton, 1 year left on his deal. He's not the best player in the world. Wow, okay, this guy's a pure playmaker. Putting him next to Vance would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. 12 goals, 61 assists. I am liking Weston Wharton quite a bit here. I am liking him quite a bit. We could also make a coaching change this offseason, but I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. We'll look at the start of the season for that, but I do like Weston Wharton a lot. I don't know if his value is going to be a bit too high, though, for us. They have no interest in Torres, which is not ideal. But if I give them Torres... Wait, let me take a look at their goaltending situation, make sure this makes sense. It does kind of make sense, but they'll have two really good goaltenders. They don't have actually good backup goaltenders, so it kind of makes sense, but a little bit risky. We do have a ton of draft picks I could give them as well. Let's give them at least 1 third-round pick and see if they want to accept that. Because then we'll be able to get ourselves that top-line left winger to play with Vance. This guy does take a lot of penalty minutes as well, which is kind of weird. Because I don't think I've ever seen a playmaker that aggressive. But, I mean, he's going to be able to set up Vance quite nicely, I think, with this passing stats. Like 93 passing, 94 offensive awareness. He should do pretty good. He could also play on the right side, which is nice too. So we could always flip him around. So Wharton for Torres in a third-round pick. That is rejected, okay. Well, I have plenty of third-rounders I could give you. I will give you Vegas's third-rounder as well in this deal. I could even give our own second-rounder, to be honest, but I would rather get rid of some of these thirds because we have so much of them. So, Wharton for Torres in 2/3. Rejected, okay. You have any interest in any prospects that have more value than the third-round pick? Because we could use those third-rounders in a different deal later in the season. They have interest in some of the prospects, but anybody that I'm willing to move, not really. Matsumoto is already wow. Matsumoto is a third-rounder. I don't think this guy develops, to be honest. I'm going to put Matsumoto into this deal. So it'd basically be Torres and Matsumoto, because Matsumoto, he has top 6 potential. He's 22 though already, and he's only at 74. He has good attributes, but I don't think he's going to find a way to be on this roster. So let's try if this works. That's rejected. I will add a third rounder to this deal, because like I said, I don't really need that much third rounders. It's kind of excessive when you have 4 of them. And this is like back-to-back seasons where we've had 4 of them. So let's add our one from Colorado here. And that's accepted. There we go. I think that's a good trade. We get rid of a goaltender we don't really need. We get rid of a prospect that I don't think is going to pan out. And we just give in an extra pick, and that works. I know guys are losing morale because we got rid of Ron Torres, but we have Tyupkin already. So that is a good one for us. Let me actually go back to our contract situation. How much goalies do we have under contract now? We have Tyupkin and Marsh. We have Boma. So Marsh and Boma for the AHL. We have a bunch of elite goalies we could trade if we want to. And let's go over to the free agent market now and sign ourselves what we need. Because we got ourselves that top 6 forward for the top line. Now we need to sign ourselves a backup goaltender and some depth. And then I think that's all we really need. And then we'll see if we need to make any coaching changes at the start of the season. I'm debating about bringing back Gustavo Blackburn off after his season in Vegas. Because his season in Vegas was really good. So, like, we didn't give this guy that long of a chance here with this team. So I feel like I might want to bring back Gustavo as just a backup role. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I really like his numbers in Vegas. Let's give him a 1-year deal and bring back Gustavo Blackburn. Might as well. If for some reason he ends up going to a different team, there's also Rudy Pitt, and it would be fun to bring back some former players. So there is our goaltending signing. Defensively, let's see. We need a depth defenseman and I think 1 depth forward, and that's all we're gonna probably sign because we already have a lot of stuff. So don't want to overdo it. If we need to, we'll sign more stuff at the start of the season. Nicholas Heinrich, is this guy UFA? He is at 24 years old. 77 overall. Not the best attributes, to be honest, so I'm not really liking that. Lawton, good defensive awareness, shot blocking. Stick checking's a little bit low, but this guy seems like a prototypical like shutdown defenseman, which isn't bad to have as a depth defenseman. So let's sign Lawton as our depth defender for the year. And we will also sign ourselves a depth forward, preferably a center, just because I always like guys that can win face-offs. Because obviously that helps out on the bottom 6 quite a bit. There's a different Coburn we could play. Maybe this is the older brother of the Coburn we just drafted. So let's sign Ali Coburn if his asking price isn't too high, which it actually is kind of high, so never mind. I don't really like $4 million for a depth forward. Jesper Forsberg, sniper, good shooting categories, former Buffalo Sabres prospect, had 15 goals last year in San Jose. Also had a couple 20-goal years. Yeah, this guy's not bad for a depth forward. We'll bring him in as a depth option for this team. And that's going to be our only signings in this offseason. So let's advance a few days, see if we get all those guys. And then, yeah, we'll sim up to the start of next season, adjust our lines, and then we'll see if there's any better coaching options out there for our team. We also have some RFAs holding out still, so hopefully those guys accept here shortly. Or hopefully it's not too long before they accept. Let's see. Free agent, let's see why. Gustavo Blackburn has returned. Does have anxiety, which is kind of funny about returning to Chicago, but that's okay. Lawton, our depth defenseman, has signed, and same with Forsberg. So there's that. Let's begin the sim up to next season and see if we get our RFAs accepting here. Because obviously those are the next wave of important signings to have. And then I'm really excited to see what that Wharton guy could do with that Asher Vance on that top line. Okay, so Parker Burrish has been offered a contract by the Flames. 2 years at 2.665. And we would get a third rounder for him. I do not need another third rounder, so I'm likely going to match this. I mean, he's listed as a third-line scoring forward already, so yeah, we're definitely matching that. So I think Bursch will be our third-line center or left winger, one of the two. He'll be probably playing with, like, Gustafsson and whatnot. We're still getting offered Nesbitt, which is funny. Nesbitt's still kind of an intriguing player to me, but at the same time, I don't really need him now that we just brought in Wharton. So, at least I don't think so. Let me stop the sim for a sec, see how our RFAs are doing contract-wise. We got $17 million in cap space to sign these three boys. Huxley, what are you wanting? 1.85? You got it, man. That's cheap. Hutton, what do you want? 5 by 5.275 still. That's a bit pricey, especially considering you have like low experience. I'm going to still wait on him. And then Gustavo Brown wants a two-way deal, so there's good. Okay, we're just waiting on Hutton to drop his asking price. Because I just don't feel like giving him a 5 by 5 yet. So Huxley is back, which is nice. Let's continue simulating. Brown is back. We'll check again shortly if that asking price drops at all. Which it probably will. Because obviously he's going to want to play this season. We're getting to offer all these trades. I'm not going to look at any of them yet. Because I would prefer waiting until the start of the season to make some trades if we actually need to. Let's stop the sim here. See if the asking price has dropped off at all. I prefer signing him for 1 year for now. Yeah, he wants a 1-year deal now at 3.25. He is very close to being a pending UFA though, so in his asking price you go to 8 years, he wants $7 million bucks. So he thinks he's gonna be a good player, it seems like. So there you go, Hutton back for 1 year, and we will still have good cap space for trades and such like that at the deadline if we're in a spot to do so. I am excited to see what this team's looking like. I think this will be a fun year, obviously with the new youngster in the lineup. We have not had that high of a prospect in quite some time, so should add some energy to our team a little bit. As we've had a lot of good young prospects, but we've never had a prospect that we've drafted in the top 5 since, like, I don't even remember when the last time we drafted a player in the top 5 was. But should be nice to see what Coburn could do. Hopefully running that second power play unit. And eventually he might take over for Vance on that first unit if Vance ends up retiring in the next 2 years. But should be nice. Let's adjust our lines and we'll see if we need to make any coaching changes. So, Wharton. Let me see how he's fitting this team. Does he fit this top line well? He does. I like it. That was a really good pickup. I appreciate Arizona being nice. So Wharton, Vance, and Bressois. The thing is with Bressois and Wharton, they're very similar players, but that's okay because Bressois is very close to being like a retirement. Second line, Reefers, Coburn, and Recchi. Yeah, Recchi's dropped off a lot. He is definitely going to be a retirement soon, I think. And then we'll probably run with Burrish as the third line center with Gustafsson, maybe? Wait, let me take a look at him. Third line checking, Huxley, third line checking. Okay. Maybe I'll go with Huxley up there since Gustafsson's more of a two-way forward. And then Ziska there. And who else do we have scratched? Martins. I don't want Martins scratched. Yeah, that's good. We'll send down Curtis Corey because I think there was somebody else I wanted to use as a depth forward, wasn't there? Maybe not, actually. Maybe we need more depth forwards. And we need our depth defenseman. Actually, why is Leonard Knight still at a 75? It's probably because of morale. He needs to come up. That's one player that needs to definitely be up here, because Lawton's supposed to be a depth defenseman. So Leonardo Knights, you need to come back and up to the NHL defensive core. I know you're not a 75 because you were a 79 last year. So let's go back here and adjust this. So we'll take out Lawton, throw in Knights. We'll swap we'll swap Kaupinen, and we'll put the two Finns together. And then Burnstrom can play with Kachuk, Hutton, and Knights. And then Tayupkin's up to an 89. Jeez, man. I don't know why he's developing so crazy. I know he's an elite goalie, but still. I think I might be okay with using Curtis Corey as a depth option, to be honest. Like, this guy's at a make or break point. Might as well give him an opportunity. So, that's all set up. AHL should be set up. Let's take a look at the power play unit here. Bressois Reefers. I will put Recchi on this unit. And then we will take Ziska off the power play because, sorry, Ziska, you're a two-way forward. And we'll put Bursch there. Wharton should be on that top spot instead of Recchi. Actually, maybe not, because we want to have a good playmaker on that second unit too. We will take Huxley off the power play, off the point, and then the youngster in Coburn will play the point since he's got that shooting. And I think that's almost ready to go. We'll also take Huxley off this unit though. I hope Coburn does well this year. Very excited to see what he can do. So there's our team looking like right now. Is there a better coaching option out there than Anze Kopitar? Because we've been definitely struggling with Kopitar as of lately, so it might be time to make a coaching change. Let's see, 61% team fit. Let's go to hire coach and see if there's anything better than a 61. Norm Franco, 58. Let's see, 64 and more balanced. I like kind of more balanced coaches in a sense. I could bring him in as always like an assistant coach or the goalie coach for now, and then see how good he is as a fit. I don't like his PK though. The C rating on the PK is not ideal. I will bring this guy in as an NHL goalie coach. We'll just give him a lot of money, and then we'll see if he's actually a better fit as the head coach. We'll kind of rework our coaching staff to see who's the best of the bunch. So let's see if he'll be our NHL goalie coach, Mr. Renault. And then obviously, like I said, we'll see who ends up being the best coach for our team. Let's see, advance a few days. Renault is in. Great. Let's go to coaching staff. And let's temporarily demote Anze Kopitar to AHL assistant coach. We will take a look at Tillett. How good of a fit is Tillett as our head coach? 56%. Yeah, you're definitely not head coach material there, bud. But thank you. Joe Pavelski, who we had a little bit last year. 64%. That's better actually than Anze Kopitar. So Kopitar might be an assistant coach this year. So far, I do like Pavelski the best out of the bunch. And then we got that goalie coach to test out as well. Let's see how good Renault is. Renault is also a 64. Renault has been a head coach in places before, I think. Right? No, only in the AHL level. Never won a Calder Cup. He's had some good AHL years, though. Let's see. Anybody he doesn't work with well? I don't know. Let's take a look at both Renault and Pavelski on how they look with our lines in terms of chemistry, and then we'll probably choose one of the two of them to be our head coach. So, pretty similar to Kopitar there. Defense looks a little bit better, maybe. Let's see. Ooh, Kachuk and Jokela, I like that. They're both right-handed men, no, technically, but still. Yeah, I do like this coach in terms of a defensive core a little bit better. Okay, so there's our first option. So we got +2, +2, +1, and a +5. Let's see if Pavelski is better or if he's worse. I didn't take a look at the special teams. I actually should take a look at that first too, because obviously we want to have a good special teams coach. And if this guy's like negative in everything power play wise, that wouldn't be great. Power plays plus. Yeah, everything's looking good there. PK is looking okay as well. Okay, so this guy's a good fit pretty much. How about Joe Pavelski? Is Joe Pavelski the better option? We'll go back to goalie coach for Renault for a second. Let's see Pavelski, how he fits. But I think Anze Kopitar might be still on our coaching staff, but he's not going to be our head coach. Based on the team fit. +2, +2, +1. That's the exact same. +5 as well. That's the exact same. It just comes down to special teams, I guess. +3, 0. It's like the exact same for both these guys, I think. Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll have, I guess, Joe Pavelski instead, because he's more NHL. Has he been coaching more in the NHL than the other guy? No, he's only coached a little bit with us last year where he wasn't good. Let's take a chance with Renault, and we'll make Pavelski our assistant coach, and we'll move Tillett down to the NHL goalie coach for a second. Kopitar will be our NHL associate. Yeah, we're gonna go with this. So Renault, Kopitar, Pavelski. If Renault's not doing well, I'll move it to Pavelski. If Pavelski's not doing good, we might end up going back to Kopitar, but we definitely want to see how good this coaching staff does with this team. So there we go. We are set and ready to go for the season. Let's get through preseason, and then we'll start simulating. I want to get to the halfway point of the season, but I don't know if I will. Depends on how late this episode is, but I just really want to see how Coburn's doing, because obviously that's a big thing we need to improve on, is offensive depth scoring, and also we need to be better in terms of keeping the puck out in the net. Like, who knows how good Tyupkin's going to do this year. We locked this guy up for 5 years, so it might have been a risk, but this is his first taste of being like a full-time NHL starting goaltender, so hopefully he has a good year. 3-4 in the preseason. We won our first 3 games and then dropped the next 4. Somehow Bursch led the team in points, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. I think the most intriguing thing for us this season is going to see of how Reefers does away from Vance, and how Vance does as the center with 2 playmakers around him. And also how the youngster in Coburn does. How did he do preseason-wise? 4 points. Pretty solid. This guy had over 100 points in the United States, so he better be that type of guy in the NHL. He's listed as a third-line scoring forward, but we're kind of rushing him into the top 6 a bit to hope that he gets a lot of development right out of the gate. So hopefully that is the case. Okay, let's see how we do. I had to make a quick cut in the episode because I wanted to make sure no freezes happened in the episode so far. So let's see how we do in our first month. We'll take it a little bit slow just because we obviously want to make sure we're doing good this year. So first month, let's see if we do better than last year, because last year we were off to a terrible start. Same with the year before that. And so far, so good. So far, so good. We're scoring a lot of goals in most of our games. That's a great start. 6-2, much better. Liking this coach so far a lot. Because 5-4 win, that's good offense. Bad defensive game, but then we score 5 goals, 6 goals, 6 goals. So back-to-back games against the Canucks on home ice too. We win 6-3. Then we allow 4 goals, so not a great defensive effort. 6-5 win, not a great defensive effort, but a 4-1 win there. So I think our offense is doing good, but our defense maybe not so much so far. But let's continue to go. This is our biggest month yet so far, so let's see if we could continue to be above 500. 7-1 win. Yeah, our offense is definitely doing good with the addition of the youngster. Tyupkin's been injured. Are you kidding me? Well, that's not great. That's not great. It's not that long term, but still, we just lost our best overall goaltender, which means Marsh, the low starter, is going to get an opportunity to play in the NHL already. Well, this guy already is kind of making history. He was a really late pick. So we'll see if this guy's able to do anything if he ends up getting any NHL games under his belt, but wasn't wanting to call him up yet, but here we are. We'll see what he could do with Blackburn as the starter, and then we'll just go best lines in the AHL, because, I mean, there's no depth anyways down there in the AHL, so it doesn't matter too much. Back-to-back losses, not ideal. 3 straight losses, not ideal, and Tyupkin's back. We'll see if Marsh got any starts. Did he get any starts in the NHL? He did. He started 2 games and he was actually really, really good. Wow. He didn't win a single game, but he had a .948 save percentage. So, shout out to Marsh. You're going to be going back to the AHL, unfortunately, but I think you might be a good NHL goaltender if you continue developing, based on those numbers at least. Maybe it's just our team in front of him. And Tayukin will be back, which is great. Hopefully he is more healthy for the rest of the year, because this is his first year as a starter. So, because he was living in the shadow for a little bit. We've lost 4 straight games now. That's not ideal. There's a win, though. We are still 11-6-1, so that is okay. But I do not like that little slide we had. There's another win. There's a loss, another win. Okay, now we're starting to win more games again. A little bit streaky, but 15-7-1. That's much, much better than the last 2 years. The last 2 years, we've had terrible times in the first little bit. Like, we were going to be way out of the playoffs early on. But this time around, we are second best in our division at the moment. Only a point back of the Jets. So I do like our start quite a bit. We have already played 23 games, so let's keep on going because we want to get to game 41 at least, and then we'll take a look at player stats. I do not want to exit out of this calendar screen because I want to kind of surprise myself with who's leading the team in points and all that. But yeah, it seems like we're a good offensive team, which means players are scoring. I'm just not sure on the goaltending and defense. Kalpinen's been injured. That's not good. That's another rookie. Not ideal to have rookie guys going down. But, what was I going to say? I wonder if we should give Wharton an extension. He's 28 years old. He's probably going to demand a ton of money because he's playing next to Asher Vance. So, Kachuk's back up to an 83, which is good. Knights is back to a 78. So, the morale crisis is over. That's good. As those guys did drop down a lot because of morale. Let's keep on going. Yeah, our offense is definitely doing really well here, even though we just got shut out. I just don't like our defensive play. That's probably what I'm not liking right now, because you can see those last 2 games we've allowed 15 goals. So, a bit of a risk, but I mean, it is what it is. 36 games played so far, so we got 5 more games to go. Then we'll take a look at who's doing what. So, we'll go up to this point, see how we are at the halfway point. 8-2 win there. So yeah, the offense is good. The defensive play might not be there, which means we might need to improve it a bit. 3-game losing streak to end this episode. 25-14-2. We are second best in our division, and we are still quite a ways up on the wild card spot. So that's actually pretty good. Really good spot so far, but we definitely need to keep on the gas. Brossoit is leading the team in points for the second straight year, 49 points, which means Vance might be scoring a lot of goals, or maybe Wharton's doing a lot too. Let's take a look at what's going good for us and what is not. Because I feel like I know already that our offense is going to be good, but our defense is not. Let's see. We are currently the 8th best team in the NHL. The best team is currently the Islanders, who are 32-9. Crazy. Goals for per game. We are the second best offensive team in the league, but the Islanders are scoring an outrageous 4.51 goals per game. Next closest team, which is us, is 3.71. Almost 1 goal less a game. That is insane. I wonder what the Islanders' offensive core looks like at this stage. Goals against per game wise, we are, let's see, this is number 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th in defense. Yeah, we need to improve our defensive play a little bit. It's still a little bit of a risk, but it is what it is. That power play, though, second best in the league. Oh my goodness, the Islanders are insane offensively. They're 35% on the power play. We're 27.6, and we're number 2. So, offense, great. Defense, not so much. And our penalty kill is tragic. It's the 3rd worst. So, the penalty kill needs to improve. So I will show you guys the penalty kill lines, and you guys can tell me if there's any movement we should do on it. Better road team than home team again. Yeah, we definitely need to pick up our defensive play. Definitely need to do that. Let's see what we got here. So, okay, Vance, you are back to form. He should hit 50 goals this year. 48 points in 41 games isn't crazy, but 33 goals in 41 games is. Last year, he only had 48 goals. The year before, only 44, but he should be getting back to that 50-60 goal plateau. Oh, no. This guy literally is going to retire way earlier than like Avery Parrott in Anchorage. Oh, no. He dropped down to top 6 potential at only 35, and he's dropped to an 89. Is this one of the last years we see Asher Vance already? And that also means that there is a good chance that I don't know if Vance will catch Avery Parrott in all-time goals for me. It depends on his last few years, but there is a chance that Vance might not be the best goal scorer in my history. Reefer has been really good on that second line. 42 points. I like that. We don't play him with Vance, and he's still doing well. Bursch, 22 points. Not too bad. -8, though, is a little bit bad. 14 points from Ziska. 11 points from Martins. How's the face-off percentage from Vance? 52.5. Most of our face-off men are above 50% except for the youngster and Bursch. So there is that. Left wing wise, we get the CD youngster now. Wharton and Coburn has been really solid. Okay. Yeah, Coburn's definitely helping us out with that depth scoring. Wharton, 42 points is really good. I really like that acquisition. I feel like I should definitely give him a contract extension in the next episode, but I'm not sure of how long because he might demand a good amount. But Curtis Coburn in his rookie season is up to 30 points in 41 games, already has 17 goals, so there is a good chance he hits 30 goals this year. He could fall off in the second half, but 6 power play goals, 9 power play points. He has done really well. He's up to an 81, or he was an 81 already, I think. Yeah, I think he was already an 81, so I don't know if he's developed really at all, but he's doing pretty solid so far. Huxley, 15 points is not bad, 10 goals, pace for 20 goals. Not really sold on Sven Gustafsson. I mean, his contract isn't terrible, but still not really sold on a guy that's on pace for 20 points. I mean, he's just a pure fourth-line guy, so I don't know if we should give him some more special teams time, like maybe on the penalty kill to improve it a bit. Right wing-wise, Brossoit, 49 points has been really good. Recky's on 41 points in 41 games. He's having a bit of a career resurgence. Kind of surprising. Maybe it's because he's on the power play. He's got 12 power play points. So maybe it's because of that. Zuber's 20 points is not bad. -9 is eh. Defensively, our offense is coming back from the back end as Yokel is having a great year finally. Because we brought this guy in last year, he had 45 points. This year, he's almost point per game. So he is almost back to where he was in Colorado. Kachuk's been solid, 16 points plus 12. Bernstrom, 11 points only plus 3. This guy's still regressing quite a bit. Like, he's on pace to have a better year than last year, but still not by much. Kaupinen, 6 points plus 5. I'll take it. Hutton, 6 points -4. Knights, 5 points -4. And Lawton, plus 3 in 3 games as a depth guy. Not bad. Goaltending-wise, yikes. Okay. This is where I was definitely a little bit worried about, just because Tyupkin hasn't had the potential yet, or he hasn't really had the opportunity to be that starting guy. His career numbers in a regular season are an 886 through these first 2 years. Not ideal, but maybe he'll be a good playoff goaltender. He's had really good AHL playoffs, so I'm just hoping he's a good playoff goaltender at this point. And then Blackburn has not really done what he did in Vegas. Yikes. Definitely some things to improve for sure. Let's take a look at players around the league, though. I'm curious on this as well. Kolnick leading the league for the Islanders. Cornette also up there for the Islanders. Sylvain Parks, as he normally is. But, yeah, the Islanders are a crazy offensive team. Frolov, too. Jeez, they have 3 guys in the top 5. Brossoit is also up there, and Vance is up there. And Vance is leading the league in goals. Jacina's the only guy that's close to him. Well, him and Parks. I guess there's a lot of guys close to him, but Vance is maybe trying to get his last Richard trophies, so hopefully he does that. Defensively, best for points is Christensen with the Islanders. Jeez. And Yokel is up there right now for a potential candidate for a Norris, which is nice. Pisani's having a resurgence a bit there, too. Artem Datsuk, our former player, might win a Norris in his last season if he plays better defensively, gets more offense going, too. Huh. Interesting. Goalie-wise, the best goalie so far is Wesley Sweat. Is goaltending numbers just down though? Let's see. For Obev 922, 920. No, goaltending numbers are not down at all, looks like. So our goalies are just not doing well. It does drop off a bit here though. Let me actually go by starting goalies to see how bad Tayupkin is by comparison to all the other starters. Let's see. How many starters are in the 880 save percent range? Not a lot. Not a lot. So Tayupkin's one of the worst goalies in the league at this point. Because him, Clapperton, Nicola, and Boyle all low. Glass also pretty low. There's a lot of goalies in the 890 save percentage range, but still, I don't really think he's that good at the moment, which is kind of bad, but oh well. And, oh baby, Curtis Coburn so far up there for Rookie of the Year. As long as he beats out Miettinen, who's up there as well. Former 4th round pick of the Devils, but is now in Canucks colors. Interesting. The guy though that went first overall, this is the medium elite power forward that went number 1. You think he'd be doing better, but he's only got 15 goals. I mean, that's pretty close to Coburn's. But he's only got 22 points. He's 8 points back. Reasoner scored the most goals for rookies so far. So there, actually that was sorted by actually 30 games only. I want to go by minimum games. Wow, okay, there might be a good rookie goaltender so far in San Jose. I mean, he's a backup, but still. Salvador Steves is pretty good. He is pretty good. So there's that. I don't know if I want to take a look at the trading block or not. I should probably, just in case. So let's take a look at the trading block and see if there's anything out there for potential trades, and then that'll be it for this episode pretty much. I might also show you guys quickly what the what contracts are looking like for that guy we just traded for. So Torres is already on the block in Arizona, which is funny since we just traded him. How's he doing? He's doing good. What is this? He's not really playing that much because he's a backup, but Ron Torres is having a good season, of course, after we traded him away. McNabb is on the block if we want more depth scoring. Like I said, we do have the money to make some trades this year, but the question is it something we need to do? Maybe to improve our PK? I don't really know. Some of these guys are making a ton of money though, like this Darby guy. Jeez. So yeah, we could definitely try and improve our PK like by making some just line adjustments, or we could try and trade for something that will help out our PK. I think that's definitely something we need to improve. If we improve our PK, I think our goals against average will improve a lot too. So there is some good players out there, but most of them are offensively minded. Satchel Pumeyer, our former players. Ooh, wow, he's regressed a lot offensively. Yikes. Unless the Oilers are just trash, but damn. Let's see what else we got here. Ruja is a pretty good two-way forward. 84 overall. Doesn't have the best face-off stats for a center, but he would probably be a good penalty killing option. But he is listed as a second liner, which I don't know if he would find time on the second line for us. There's also Burgundy, who's a two-way forward. Yeah, there is some two-way forwards we could bring in if we want to improve our PK and that type of thing. But I don't know who I would scratch in the sense with our lineup. Like, we'd have to get rid of a roster player to bring in somebody. And I don't know who that guy would be to trade away. So I don't really know if it's worth it. Wow, this medium elite's not panning out. Former first round pick. Really late first round pick, though. Oh, it's this guy's name is Christopher Campoli. I don't know if I recognized that when I saw that guy drafted or not. That's funny. It's like Chris Campoli, the former Islander. McClellan on the block. Damn, that's a really good player. Really good two-way forward, but he's already 33. So on the regression path, likely. Yeah, I don't really know what this team needs other than something to maybe make us a bit better defensively. Like, the goaltending numbers might be trash, but I don't know if we should be trading away a goaltender just because they're trash right now. I do not know. Because, I mean, we're winning games even with that bad goaltending. But are we going to be a team that, like, wins games and then gets into the playoffs and then doesn't win? We want to be good for the postseason as well. If that grinder wasn't making $9 million, that'd be pretty nice. Anything else interesting on OFD, who's making 9.895 as an 81 overall. Exact 7th D. But listed as a top 4 role. What the heck is this? Wow. He had 60 points last year? What the hell? When was this guy drafted? 15th overall. Okay, this guy's just regressed really fast. Wow. Why does this guy regress so quick? Because he's only 29, listed as an exact 7th, but his role's a top 4, so I don't really know. He must have had a high potential, because he was a 15th overall pick, so he must have been a top 4. And that asking price is, or contract is outrageous, but he's producing really well. So that's kind of weird. Really weird. Mars is a defensive defenseman. I don't really know. I do not know what we need to do. Persona in 4 years, no thanks. And that's pretty much that. Final thing, let's take a look quickly at that contract. Like I was saying, I don't know if we'll re-sign the guy we traded for or what, but we have Brossoit and Wharton up for renewal. So if Brossoit retires, there's a chance that we could do that. Like, both these guys are going to be demanding, yeah, very similar asking prices. Wharton's is crazy high. Yikes. I don't know if we're going to be able to bring back Wharton. I hope we could, but I don't know about that asking price. Brunstrom is up for renewal this offseason. That's actually kind of interesting. If he doesn't retire, do we bring him back? We have a lot of actually pending UFAs this offseason. There we go. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. So in next episode, we will simulate the rest of the season. We might make some trades to improve our defensive play and our play on the penalty kill. And yeah, we'll see if this team ends up making it to the playoffs, which right now I think is likely. But we definitely need to keep our foot on the gas and probably improve in some of those areas that we're not doing too well in. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.